I just watched one of Larry's videos, 24 questions for 2024, and I love it. I love the questions, I love the concept, but mostly I love Larry's energy because it's so chaotic and fun that I feel validated. I feel like her videos validate my own chaos because life recently, a mess. I cannot keep up with anything. It's 10 p.m. and I decided I'm going to record this video now because I just watched it, and by just watch it I realized that I watched it exactly 2 hours ago because that's when I was putting him to sleep and I had my headphones in. I've been doing that a lot. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about that during the video. Did I even say hi to you? Hello, how's it going? You know what I mean by chaos? I feel like I'm always rushing. So let's rush through the questions. Now, I'm going to do this loosely because it's questions about books, and you know, I'm not exactly a booktuber because I know nothing about books and I'm always very behind on everything and I don't read that much. So there might be some questions where I don't have answers for it, and there might be others where I want to use multiple answers. I don't know, we'll see. She created these questions, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. Did I mention that? I'm talking too fast. I need to slow down. Anyway, let's get started. And like she says, let's get started in question number 1 because that's the best place to start. The link to this video will be linked down below, and I'll also leave the questions written down. So if you want to answer it, feel free to. And if you do, share your link down below and I'll have a look. So let's get started. So question number 1. Actually, I'm not going to say question number 1 because I just realized that she didn't number the questions and it's all fun and games for the first 3, but then I will for sure lose track. So let's go. How many books are you planning on reading? Back in the day, I used to read a lot. I say a lot, but was it? I never read a lot. I never was one of those people who reads 200 books in a year. Not even 100 books in a year. The maximum I've read was... Can I even see previous challenges on the phone? The Goodreads app sucks on the phone. Like, Goodreads is not amazing in general, but it's even worse on the app versus the computer. Do you have the same experience? I feel like there's so many things that I can see on the webpage that I cannot see on the app. For instance, oh no, there's literally a button that says past challenges. Ignore everything that I said until now. So, the most that I read in a single year was 71 books in 2020, which surprises no one because we're obviously just at home doing nothing and I had no baby back then. Good times. Yeah, then I've been reading less and less. Anyway, I set my goal for 2024 at 24 books. I swear I didn't do it on purpose. It was 24 books because it was 2 a month, which is also what I set for 2023, which I surpassed by 1. But I must say that last year I did count the children's books because otherwise I wouldn't have. Otherwise I would have read like, which is okay, it's fine, numbers are numbers, but you know, I'm an overachiever. So my goal for 2024 is 24 books. How basic. Most anticipated releases of the year. So this is one of those questions where, you mean, I'm not a proper booktuber, so I'm not up to date with things, but I did realize the other day that there's a second book coming to the Guncle story by Stephen Rowley, and obviously I'm very excited for that. It comes out in May, at some point in May. I don't remember the date. In May, which I'm very excited, and I'm just gonna stay like that because I don't know anything else. A book on a physical TBR that you probably won't ever read. Oh my god, there's so many. So I mentioned this in the past, but that bookshelf right behind me, those are the books that I have to read. So if I go there, I'm sure I'll find a few that I don't intend on read, and perhaps I'll just take this opportunity to DNF. Let's go lightly into the year. So very quickly, I grabbed 4 that I don't want to say never, but oh my god, the colors go great with each other. I don't want to say never, but quite probably I'm not gonna read. I have no interest in them. The Other Woman by Emma Flint. It was an arc. I mean, it's still an arc. Came out apparently February 2023. I have no idea what this is about. Deceive Me by Karen Cole. No idea what this is about. I don't even know where these books came from. Chris Carter, Genesis. Is this an arc? No, this is a final copy. And The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I feel like I bought this one brand new. Did I? I'm gonna say these for now, but before I actually unhaul them, I'm gonna go on Goodreads later on and just read the synopsis quickly and the reviews and everything. And maybe I'll change my mind, maybe not, I don't know. But for now, let's keep these ones as my answer. I don't even know what the question was anymore. A new genre you'd like to try more of. You know what? I feel like last year I started moving slowly from being mainly a thriller reader to being a romance reader. I don't know how this happened, like, I mean, met me, but yeah, it started happening, and I find that recently I enjoy more reading the romances. I have more fun, I have more giggles, they're more light, and also I'm more curious about the story. Like, every time I start reading a thriller, I'm just like, eh. So, I don't know, I have loads and loads of thrillers on that bookshelf because they used to be my main genre that I used to read. Allow me to hydrate. But I don't know, when I look at them, I don't really want to read them anymore. I'm not gonna unhaul them because I think I still enjoy reading thrillers, you know what I mean? But when I look at them and I think, do I want to read it right now? The answer is not right now. On the other hand to that, there's a bunch of romance books in there, or like contemporary novels or things, that I look at them and I'm like, wow, I really want to read it right now. So is it a new genre to me? Romance? It's not, but I'm, like all the Swiftie says, entering my romance era. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift, by the way. I know that there's eras, but I do not really know what they mean, and I don't know why people call that to everything, but yes, I'm entering my romance era. What book made you want to try this genre? I don't even know. I feel like people would have an answer for this straight away, because like they know what they're reading. Let me see, what did I read? There was a romance and I was like, yes, that's the one. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. There's the basics like Taylor Jenkins Reid's and Colleen Hoover. I've read them for ages and I really enjoy them. And actually the other day I created this spreadsheet that had authors that I've read at least 3 books from and that I am interested in reading more of. There was a couple more, like maybe 2 or 3 more, that I also read 3+ books, but I'm not that interested in reading them. Like some of them are author thrillers like Karen Slaughter, and yeah, I'm just not in the vibe. So I created this spread and both Colleen Hoover and Taylor Jenkins Reid are there. Were they the ones that made me start reading romance? I don't know, because I've always read them. So it's nothing recently, and I feel like the romance era is more from like the second half of last year until now. A book you're most likely to reread. I'm not much into rereading. I used to do this thing, I don't think I did it last year, but I used to do this thing I called the test of time, where I would read a 5-star book from the previous year, like a year later, and see if it was still a 5-star book. I've done it twice. So I say I used to do it, but I only done it twice. Once was with The Turn of the Key, and yes, I maintain 5 stars for that. And the second time I did it with the Honeymooners, and yes, I maintain 5 stars for that. I don't think I done it last year, but if I was gonna do it, I would maybe consider All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I just remember identifying a lot with that book, and it was really hard-hitting emotional, not like cry your eyes out emotional, just like stare into the void, stare into the wall and question all your life choices kind of emotional. So I would like to see if nowadays, especially after being a mom, because that book is also about fertility issues, I would love to see if I would maintain my opinion that the book is excellent. Perhaps I would reread that one. Am I gonna do it soon? I don't know. And if I do it, do you want a reading vlog about that or you don't care? A book you wanted to get to in 2023 but didn't, so it's a priority in 2024. The jokes. I gave up that. Like there was a time where I should do like 12 books, 12 recommendations. I used to do, oh yeah, I forgot about that. There was something that I used to do, like I created my own list and then I didn't watch the video for an entire year, and then at the end of the year I would rewatch it and see if I read those things or not. Was it 12? I don't even remember, but I did that like 4 times, like 4 years in a row, and then I stopped. Precisely because I was never reading the things that I said. Oh my god, now I want to rewatch those videos. What did I want to read last year that I didn't get to? Maybe like Book Lovers by Emily Henry, or the Lucy Score one, Things We Never Got Over. Is that the first one? I believe so. I think that's the first one, the blue one. They are very popular everywhere and everyone loves them. Everyone loves them, and I was curious to read them and why I bought them, but I never got to them. So hopefully I'll get to them this year. She says, and then she never does. A series you want to read this year. I'm not much into series, you know. Here's another spread that I did the other day of series that I am currently reading. So like The Heartstopper will finish this year. It's only the last volume missing, but it hasn't been released yet. But obviously when it does, I'm gonna read it. So I read The Flawless book and I didn't love it, but I want to pick up the second one because everyone loves that series, and I'm thinking maybe it was just the first one that was a flop and I'll actually enjoy the other ones. So I'll definitely pick up the second. And there's the Mile High series as well. I think it's called The Windy City. I'm also curious to read that. Whatever is on this spread, I don't remember anymore. An author you've never read before but want to try this year. If I say Lucy Score, is that boring because I already used that as an answer? Don't really pay attention to authors. Yes, I know it's bad. I know. But like I said, I don't keep up with anything, and the authors is no exception. So you tell me, which author should I pick up this year? Something that you think I'm gonna like. If there is something that you think I'm gonna love it, let me know. An author you're probably not going to read more of this year. I have mixed feelings with T.M. Logan because I read the first book years ago and I used to rave about that book all the time. 5 stars, and it was one of my favorite thrillers. I think it was called Lies. And then for years I never read anything else, but I collected a bunch of his books. And 2 years ago, I think, I picked up another book of him, 29 Seconds, I don't want to lie, but I think that was the one I got. And I hated that book. And I have probably another 4 of his books on my shelf. He has more, but those are the ones that I have. I don't know how I feel about it, because like I said, the 5 star and the 2 star is a massive gap. And obviously the curious part of me wants to read them and find out to which side I'm gonna balance. But he writes thrillers, and like I said earlier, I haven't been much into thrillers. So I don't know if this is going to be the year where I'm gonna give T.M. Logan another chance. A popular book you want to read. Another thing that I want to do this year. I think there's a question somewhere at the end like a 2024 bookish goal. Yes. So I'm gonna answer these two together. One thing that I want to do, I feel like it goes against what everyone wants to do, but I want to read the popular books, the books that everyone's talking about. I want to read them. I'm not influenced by the, what's the word I'm looking for? By the hype. You know how some people, when a book is very hyped, it will probably affect their ratings because they go into it expecting it to be amazing. I don't think that happens with me, but I get really curious. I want to know why everyone is talking about it. And that really motivates me to read something and to be up to date and to be able to understand the things people share on Instagram and book talk and whatever, because most of the times I do not, because I'm always late for every party. So one thing that I definitely want to try and do this year is when a book starts being really hyped, I want to go and read said book and just figure out what's happening around it. That being said, the question is actually a popular book. So one book. Oh, I want to read that thriller. It's a thriller. So now this answer goes against everything that I've said so far of I don't really want to read thrillers, but now I want to read a thriller. I want to read, is it Lisa Jewell? None of this is true. And since when does a thriller get super hyped? There was a few that did get super hyped back in the day, like Verity. Do you remember Verity? Oh my god, I loved Verity. I would potentially consider rereading that one as well. Thrillers don't really get hyped because thriller readers read a lot of thrillers. I feel like it's hard to surprise them, like all the twists and all the turns have already been done and have already been written and everyone is already expecting everything. It's difficult to surprise people to the point where they say that the thriller is more than a 4 stars. I feel like even when a thriller is good, a thriller reader will give it 4 stars because it's good, but it hasn't been surprising because they've read that plot somewhere already. But this one, the None of This Is True, has just been super hyped and I'm like, is it being read by people who are not thriller readers, or is it actually the thriller readers that are reading it and enjoying this thriller? That's a lot of in this sentence, but you know what I mean. I have the theory that it's being hyped by non-thriller readers that out of nowhere picked it up and loved it, but I have no way of knowing because I have done no research about it. I've never even visited the Goodreads page about it, like to see the ratings or anything, but I'm definitely curious. Perhaps I should buy it and add it to my collection. A non-popular book you want to read. Yeah, you see, I don't know, because whatever is on my shelves, I don't know, I want to read it, but I'm not too fussed about it. I'm fussed about the ones that are very popular. What does that say about me? So I have no answer to this question, to be honest. An audiobook you want to listen to. So if you are new here and you do not know this about me, I read every single book with an audiobook. I physically read it and I listen to the audiobook at the same time. I have done so for the last 4 years, 5 years. Let's just say that I have a lot of hours on Audible and I have the maximum level. You know how they have tier rankings for like how many hours you read and then you go up in the levels? I'm on the maximum and I've been on that maximum for like 2 years. I have a lot of hours on Audible. So an audiobook, just all of them. If a book, even if I have it on my TBR shelf, and I might even want to read it, but if there's no audiobook, I won't read it because I do not enjoy reading with just my eyes. It's been too long since I've been doing with both that I feel like I forgot how to read with just my eyes. Don't judge me. This is my safe space. I hope it's yours as well, so don't judge me, okay? A book you want to read based on the cover. I love this question. I am 100% a book cover buying girl. And you know that sentence of, don't judge a book by its cover? I disagree, 100%. Judge books based on their covers, because if the cover is horrible and everyone judges it and no one buys it, then the publishers will get the message and start producing beautiful covers. The publishers just need to be aware of that, so that's what I'm saying. So immediately I'm drawn to these 3 on my shelves. These are all by Lewis Candlish, a thriller writer, and I feel like thrillers usually have the most boring covers. It's all about the romance people and romance books, and those get all the good work done to them. Thriller books, they have like houses, suspicious shades and lakes and things, and sometimes they're interesting, but most of the times they're just very basic and they don't really have anything distinct about them. However, will you have a look at these? So this is The Other Passenger, and it's like a train, and there's a view there, oh my god, and at the back, beautiful. The heights, so you're on the ground and you're looking up and seeing this building, amazing. And this is those people, like, say what? I feel like this is more the typical thriller cover, like suspicious windows with yellow light, dual things, probably 2 sides of the same story, I don't know, but it's done in a beautiful way. Thriller books are usually not this good. A book to TV adaptation you're excited for. Another honest truth about me, feel free to judge me if you want. Even if there's a book that I want to read, and even if I own the physical copy, if I know that that book is going to be adapted, either to TV or to movies, I do not read the book. If I haven't yet, I'm not gonna go to, because why would I? I could read the book for 10 hours or watch the movie for an hour and a half. And yes, one can argue that the movie is not gonna be as good as the book, but there is so many books that I want to read that I do not want to waste my time reading something to consume the same story if I can consume said story in a faster way. Very unpopular opinion, I know. But because of that, the only answer that I have for this is the next season of Heartstopper, which I don't even think has a date yet. Does it? So I don't know when it's coming out, but whenever it is, obviously I'm gonna watch it. Something bookish you want to start doing this year. I started already doing my TBR game, and I want to continue doing my TBR game for the rest of the year, so does that count? It counts. Counts, right? It's bookish. Something bookish you want to stop doing this year. The only thing that is coming to my mind, you know when you go on Goodreads and you add the books that you read, in order for it to appear on your challenge of the year, you need to put the dates in between which you read them. Back in the day, many years ago, I used to be very strict about that, so I would always put the actual dates, like the actual date that I started and the actual date that I finished. And then through the years, I started realizing that I would often forget which day I started it, so I would just guess. This year, I decided to be even easier on myself, and I just put both the start and the end date. I put the date on which I'm updating the challenge, because I don't ever look at those dates. I don't really care. I just want the book to show up on my challenge of the year. So whenever I'm adding it to the Goodreads, or whenever I finish the book, I go and I put both dates as like the 16th of January, and bam, there you go. So something that I want to stop doing is I want to stop updating that section of Goodreads correctly. 2024 bookish goal, so I already answered that. 2024 booktube goal. I feel like no one really watches my videos anymore. I would love people to, because I do put a lot of work into them in editing and recording, coming out with fun ideas. My main goal would be for people to watch my videos more and leave comments and likes. Sometimes I get 1 comment or 2 comments in a video, which is very demotivating, so I try not to pay attention to that, because I do enjoy making these videos and editing them, and I would love to have more comments and a bigger audience, but I don't. But that's okay, I kind of make peace with it. A booktube goal would be to publish at least 1 video a month, and that's nothing, because I remember many years ago I used to publish videos every other day, and yes, granted that every single book that I was reading back then I would record a singular review of that video, and that would be 1 video. Last year, with being pregnant and then being on a massive reading slump, which I feel like I'm finally getting over my reading slump. Say what? I know, it's hard to believe, I know, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like I'm finally getting back. Last year, with being pregnant and all that, I disappeared for like 3 months in the beginning of the year, and then I kind of got back, then I disappeared again at the end of the summer, and then baby was born, and I disappeared again. I disappeared a lot last year. I don't even know how many videos I ended up publishing. Let's keep the bar low and just say that I want to publish at least 1 video a month, but hopefully more than that. I want to be more active, let's say like that. Describe how you want 2024 to go in 1 word. I love this question. So every year I come up with my word of the year, something that I feel that is gonna manifest that year or something, and I keep a list on my phone. I started this in 2022. That year my word was manifesting, and I feel like it actually worked, because in 2022 I both got my dream job back, and then later on in the year, literally on the 30th of December, that's when I found out that I was pregnant. So I also manifested that baby, because we had been trying the entire year pretty much. Following year, 2023, I wrote growing, because I was literally growing a baby inside me, but I wanted to grow mentally, grow emotionally, mature. And then for this year, 2024, I'm saying it's my rediscover year, because since having my baby in September, the first few months, they are rough. You lose yourself in maternity and in your new role of being a mom, and that's not a bad thing. Like, your whole life changed. And people often think that it's all about finding yourself again and going back to the person you used to be, but it's not, because your whole life changed. You're not the same person you were before you were a mom. I feel like it's about finding yourself and finding the things that you love, going back to your hobbies and everything, but as this new version of yourself. That's why I'm saying it's a rediscovery. I want to rediscover myself. I want to get in fine tune with my hobbies, prioritize them and have more time for them. Reading, watching TV, editing videos. I didn't prioritize that a lot in the beginning when he was born. And when I say a lot, I mean I didn't prioritize it at all. I didn't pick up a book at all until he was like 4.5 months old or something. So you see, I wasn't prioritizing anything that I enjoyed. I was just being 100% of the time I was being a mom. There's nothing wrong with that, and I will always be a mom 100% of the time, and that's my main job and my main task. But it's also important to have your own personality, at least I believe it is. And so in 2024, now that it's been a few months, I'm more settled into my role as a mom and to our routines. Obviously things change all the time. Now that everything is more normal and not like a brand new thing that is happening to us, even though everything will always be brand new, because even when he turns 12, I never had a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? Now that we are more settled into parenthood, I want to rediscover myself, rediscover my hobbies and my personality in general. Booktube creators who inspire you. I'm just gonna put them here on the screen and you can have a look. One thing that I do enjoy doing as well is just going to the homepage of YouTube and just seeing what it's suggesting to me and start watching random videos from random people, or sometimes when you finish watching one video and something else is suggested to you. I also do that a lot. So I watch a lot of people for the first time all the time, and because I'm watching them for the first time, I don't really know who they are, so I won't be able to suggest you that. But it's a great way of finding new people. If you feel like you're always watching the same people, I definitely recommend going to the homepage and just check out the suggestions, because supposedly the algorithm is tailoring them for you. Finally, something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a book account. This question goes around the blog every now and then. I always say the same thing. If you want to do it, just do it. You need to do it for yourself, because it's very hard to go up in this platform. You're only going to go wherever you want if you're enjoying it. You might not go anywhere. You might have 100 subscribers for years. It grows very slowly. So you need to enjoy it, you need to have fun, and that's my advice. If you want to do it, but be aware that it's very difficult. You see all these big content creators with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and some of them grew from night to day. They just got a video that went viral, and they wake up to their channels having blown up. But nowadays, I don't want to say it doesn't happen anymore, because it does. I just don't know how, because I've been here for many years and I never blew up. My point is, it's very difficult to get a huge audience and a huge platform. So do it because you enjoy it and not because you're trying to grow. Because if you are doing it for the growth, you're gonna stop after like 2 months when you don't get the positive outcome that you want. That was a long video. A lot of questions for someone who talks a lot. Those two things don't mix well, because then you end up having like a 45-minute long video. So without any further ado, that is it. I'm gonna shut up because I've been recording for ages, and I'm gonna edit this video right now and hopefully get it published soon. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Larry's video down there, and I'll see you very soon here on the channel for another video. Bye! What was that? Bye!